The Louisville 150, Roland Isaacs. On row number 4, it'll be car number 66, Lenny LeGrand, and Dean Donahoe, who's running for Rookie of the Year. On back, car number 11, Joe Williamson, former drag racer and dirt track champion in car number 11, and alongside of him, car number 7, former ARCA competitor, Buddy Fannin. On back, former Fairgrounds Motor Speedway track champion in car number 12, Preston Ford, and alongside of him out of Hikes Point, Kentucky, Ron Phillips. On back, Les Vogt in the Ford Thunderbird, and alongside of him, three-time sportsman track champion in our area, Junior Blankenship. Wade Johnson and Rick Irwin on that next row, along with Larry Metters and Brian Baum. The field gets the green flag, and we are racing in 40 laps of NASCAR-sanctioned late model racing action. On the back straightaway, it'll be Keith Gardner out front over Charlie Glotzbach. Chuck Winters comes up to the inside to challenge Glotzbach for second as they complete lap number 1. Into turns 1 and 2, and Glotzbach wisely gets his car down on the inside groove as they move down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4. Up to 4th now, it's Bill Kimmel Jr. racing along the inside of Todd Robinson as they scoot down the front straightaway. Kevin Weed in car number 21 heads back towards the pit area. The battle right now is for 4th as Kimmel takes that spot away. Now it's Robinson who runs at 5th. To the outside of Lenny LeGrand comes Roland Isaacs. Out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Back into turns 1 and 2. And on the outside now, Roland Isaacs of Lenny LeGrand. And that's the battle at 6th place spot as they move into turns 3 and 4. Joe Williamson directly behind them along with Preston Ford as they come down the front straightaway. 4 laps now completed and the field rushes past us and into turns 1 and 2. And it's Keith Gardner, the race leader, by about 4 car lengths over car number 8, Chuck Winters. 5 laps now completed and 35 to go. As Rick Irwin glides up the banking some down in turns 3 and 4, he'll give up a few positions in the field. 5 now completed, and it's Keith Gardner, the Barley Ford Thunderbird, out front. At second, it's car number 8, Chuck Winters, followed by the number 20 of Charlie Glotzbach. Going fourth, Bill Kimmel Jr. and the number 15 of Todd Robinson. Buddy Fannin makes a move on the inside of Preston Ford for 7th place as they move down into turns 3 and 4. Directly behind them, we have Ron Phillips along with Junior Blankenship and Dean Donahoe. 7 laps now completed. Out of turn number 4, it's Keith Gardner collecting lap number 8 and shuffling past us back into turns 1 and 2. Chuck Winters runs at 2nd place. And Charlie Glotzbach at 3rd, and now Bill Kimmel Jr. closes in on him. Only about 2 car lengths separate them. Kimmel closing in on Glotzbach as they collect lap number 9. They're back into turns 1 and 2. Coming up on the 10-lap mark, which will mark as 25% complete here this evening in the 40-lap main event for the Winston Bush late models. Keith Gardner holds that commanding lead of almost a half a straightaway right now over Chuck Winters. However, Gardner's pace will be slowed some by some of the slower traffic directly ahead of him. And Hank Hartledge goes on a spin over in the 2nd turn after he and Larry Klyer collided. Coming around to complete, and we got trouble down in turns 3 and 4, and it looks like it's Rick Irwin along with a 2nd automobile, Billy McDaniels, and the yellow flag is out. The yellow flag coming out for a couple of incidents, one involving Hank Hartledge over in turn number 2. And then Rick Irwin in car number 90 along with Billy McDaniel somehow tangled over in the 3rd turn. That's the reason for the caution flag, so the yellow... He's been so dominant over the past couple of seasons, running up front in the point standings. He's been super during 1993. Can Keith Gardner hold on here to win his 5th feature of the 1993 racing season? We're about to find out. Out of turn number 4, and the green flag is back out. Into turns 1 and 2. Can Chuck Winters challenge on the outside? We'll answer that question in just a lap or so. Down into turns 3 and 4, and it's Gardner on the inside of Winters. They're side by side out of turn 4. Lap number 13, and into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, and Winders is continuing to battle Gardner on the outside as they move down into turns 3 and 4 with Glotz back along with Kimmel side by side at 3rd and 4th. They collect lap number 14, and Winders spins going into turns 1 and 2. Taps the outside retaining wall. And it looks like the Golden Arches has a new location in the first turn. Out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway, the caution flag comes out for the number 8 machine of Chuck Winders as he spun around in the first turn area. Bill Kimmel Jr. takes over second, while Charlie Glotzbach runs third. Roland Isaacs up to fourth, and Todd Robinson rounds out the top 5. Yellow flag for car number 8. Again, it's very important that Bill Kimmel Jr. make his move on this restart. The outside lane didn't prove to be so good for Chuck Winders. Maybe the luck will change for Kimmel. The number 98 machine of Keith Gardner pacing the field down the back straightaway, and we expect to go back green flag racing. Charlie Glotz back on the inside lane at 3rd place, and Roland Isaacs up to 4th. The green flag's out, and Kimmel has the jump on Gardner into turns 1 and 2. He's going to have to try and make the outside lane work as Winders tried to. Into turns 3 and 4, and it's Kimmel. Into turns 3 and 4 with the advantage over Gardner. Kimmel around the outside and down the front straightaway. Can he make things work once again into turns 1 and 2? It's Kimmel, and it looks like he has the advantage over Gardner on the back straightaway. And down into turns 3 and 4, suddenly the rear tires break loose, and Gardner swings past on the inside and takes the lead away. Isaacs now to the inside of Kimmel, and it looks like Kimmel has a problem with his machine. 17 laps now completed, and down the back straightaway, and Glotzbach has gotten around Kimmel for 3rd. Into turns 3 and 4, it's Gardner back out front at lap number 18. Roland Isaacs runs at 2nd. Charlie Glotzbach runs 3rd. Joe Williamson now up to 4th. He'll battle the inside of Kimmel on the back straightaway. Todd Robinson right there in the thick of things as well, along with Junior Blankenship and Lenny LeGrand. Back into turns 1 and 2. Joe Williamson takes over 4th place now on the back straightaway. As Bill Kimmel Jr. drop kicks back to 5th, Todd Robinson goes 6th. Down the front straightaway, it looks like Ron Phillips and Junior Blankenship are also battling side by side, along with Larry Metters and Brian Baum. And Kimmel goes way up the banking this time, 3 abreast nearly out of turn 4. The number 12 of Preston Ford noticeably off the pace going into turns 1 and 2. 22 laps completed. And Keith Gardner continues his assault on this Winston Busch late model division here at Louisville Motor Speedway. Charlie Glotzbach makes his move now, pulls up along the inside of Roland Isaacs and nails down 2nd place after 23 laps of competition. 17 to go. And it's Gardner out front by 3/4 of a straightaway. Preston Ford now has gone back towards the pit area. Okay, the battle's just outside the top 5 now, going into turns 1 and 2. Ron Phillips on the inside of Brian Baum, and they are side by side on the back straightaway with Larry Metters directly behind them. And it looks like Ron Phillips has picked up a spot as they move out of turn number 4. 25 laps now completed and 15 to go. It's Keith Gardner at lap number 26, the Barley Ford Thunderbird. Jacoby Financial Services also sponsoring the automobile. 2-time defending late model track champion. Out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Crew chief and car owner Kevin Gardner watching his creation move out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Charlie Glotzbach in car number 20 having another good run for the Eddie Holman racing team. The Taylor's House of Color, JB's Body Shop, and Sterling Beer Lumina into turns 1 and 2. Then Roland Isaacs runs at 3rd for Apex Trailer Service Company, Stouts Pick Pack, and Phillips Electric Company. There's our race leader, Keith Gardner, into turns 1 and 2 as he now makes a pick along the inside of Les Vogt to put him 1 lap down. He reels in on Jeff Johnson in car number 88. Rick Irwin in car number 90 heads back towards the pit area. 30 laps completed and 10 to go. Mr. Late Model himself, Keith Gardner, moves over to turn 4 and sweeps down the front straightaway. He'll collect lap number 31 and back into turns 1 and 2. Charlie Glotzback in car number 20 beginning to cut into that lead some, but it's very apparent that Gardner has encountered some lap traffic and has slowed his pace down some. Not quite the runaway race leader that he was about 5 or 7 laps ago. 32 complete and 8 to go, and time is running out for Charlie Glotzback to chase down Gardner. Once again, Keith Gardner's got to be careful as he moves in on this slower lap traffic. Moving down into turns 1 and 2, pulls in behind Billy McDaniels. Then down into turns 3 and 4, and once again, Gardner hops to the outside of McDaniels out of turn 4. They collect lap number 34 here this evening, and we're 6 away from a finish. Gardner up to the second lane now, being very cautious and getting around McDaniels as they move down into turns 3 and 4. Now to the outside of Dean Donahoe. Meanwhile, Charlie Glotzback is closing in on Gardner. 35 completed and 5 to go. Gardner into turns 1 and 2 around Carl Wheeler. Then closes in behind the number 95 of Fred Williams. Putting 3 lapped cars between himself and Charlie Glotzback. We'll make that 4 lapped cars now. 36 completed. We're 4 away from a finish. Once again, at third place, it's Roland Isaacs, followed by Joe Williamson and the number 15 of Todd Robinson. Now to turn 4, collecting lap number 37, and we're 3 away from a finish. Into turns 1 and 2, it's the Barley Ford Thunderbird of Keith Gardner, looking for his 5th feature event victory of the 1993 racing season. 2 to go this time by. Checking with Charlie Glotzback now as he takes a look to the inside of Dean Donahoe into turns 1 and 2. White flag out for Keith Gardner out of Pleasure Ridge Park, Kentucky. One more time around for the 2-time defending late model track champion. Down into turns 3 and 4. Car number 98, Keith Gardner, pulls his machine out of the fourth turn, and the Ford Thunderbird will go to victory lane here this evening. Across the line at second, it was Charlie Glotzback, followed by Roland Isaacs, Joe Williamson, and the number 15 of Todd Robinson. Good run tonight for Lenny LeGrand, unofficially in the number 6 position, while Ron Phillips ran 7th. At 8th, Larry Metters. 9th, unofficially, Bill Kimmel Jr., then Junior Blankenship. Collecting his 5th feature event victory of the 1993 racing season. The 2-time defending late model track champion, the current point leader, and he led just about every lap here this evening. The driver of the Barley Ford Thunderbird, Jacoby Financial Services, and Ohio National sponsored Ford Thunderbird. Let's hear it for him, Keith Gardner. In the Busch